take a load off and grab a seat. Pull up a chair, prop up the feet, that's fine by me. Fine by me. Yeah, it's podcast time. All right.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up, Bugaboo?
I can't hear you, Josh.
Can you hear me now?
Is that what
Nick,
your
are you
voice
talking?
sound?
I can't hear him either. Okay, so that's my end.
Yeah, thank goodness.
I know, right?
Yeah. Did
Because
you
you don't want me troubleshooting nothing.
hear his voice when he first started?
Yeah.
I thought that was what his voice sounded like, and I was like, "Oh, you can just go ahead and get off."
Just stay off of here.
Can you hear Wes?
Yeah, I got you now.
When you
Like, don't
first
worry
started,
about it.
when you first started talking, your voice sounded like shit, and my first thought was, we don't need him."
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, you sound like RFK.
Golly.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if Theo wouldn't have gave him a chance on his podcast, I don't know where he would be, to be honest with you. Because
I
You
don't know,
think?
man. Him and
I
Trump
don't
are pretty
know.
tight still.
I mean, I think he had a lot of influence as far as the people that Theo reaches, and the support that Theo showed him. As
He's a
many followers across all the social medias that Theo has, really opened a lot of people's eyes to RFK. But
yeah.
He still is a Kennedy, you know.
I know Theo is definitely bigger than Tim Dillon is, but Tim Dillon and RFK are like legit friends. Like he
yeah,
talks all the time about like, oh, I just happened to be in Florida and RFK was there, so I sat down with I can't remember the name of his wife right now, but yeah.
I can imagine. I can imagine him and Tim Dillon sharing stories, and RFK's like, "I killed a fucking bear in the." What did he do? What did he kill in like Central Park? Did he kill something?
I think he
A
killed like
bear, wasn't it? Or
I
something?
think it was a bear. And
His
they hid
wife's
it.
the chick from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Cheryl Hines.
Yeah.
That's his wife. Yeah, God, I couldn't think of that. Sorry, I was trying to think of who that was. But yeah, it was a bear I think he killed. Are we recording?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
recording.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to another episode.
kind of like your mom's webcam, always recording. Fine by me.
Speaking of cam, this is a new one. We had some camera issues, so I'm a different angle today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he RFK. Well, I'm probably going to keep all of that in because it was good.
Yeah, man. Just leave it in.
Amidst to dumping a dead bear in Central Park,
Oh, he dumped it in dead, and yeah, that's what happened.
That's some fucking
oh,
savagery behavior right there, man.
Yeah.
I've
it
never
was a
done it.
bear
I've never thought
cub
about
too.
illegally dumping anything, much less in
You
New
remember
York
them
City.
boys? You remember them boys that dumped 2 dead does in the fountain at the high school
No, I don't remember
back in
that.
the day? It might have been the year after you graduated, but yeah, they got in big trouble for
Yeah, I'm sure.
not only dumping the corpses of dead animals, like improperly disposing of, but also like poaching. They didn't have any hunting permits for those deer either.
They didn't have any
I
extra
remember
toe tags.
Yeah.
I remember they used to dump like Dawn dish soap and stuff in there. That's about the most I ever seen.
Yeah.
Anything crazy
Yeah,
like that.
that's about why they closed up the fountain on the square in Franklin.
Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that fountain right there on the
people
corner.
people kept
The
soap in it.
the rotary fountain.
That's a good. It's kind of a good segue. Did y'all have any kind of senior craziness, like, either leaving and graduating, or the beginning of senior year where you pick on the freshmen or whatever?
Nick, you want to go first?
Man, I've got 2 from senior year.
Well, go ahead.
From the end of senior year, of course, I found myself in charge of the senior prank. So,
Of course.
I did a bunch of recruiting. We were going to do pranks that weren't like property damaging. That way, there was less chance we got in trouble. So there was like 60 of us that met in the Church of Christ parking lot up the road from the school, and we all marched like in order just down the road to the high school. We had a buddy, his parents were the night shift janitors at the high school, and he would help them out sometimes if he didn't have anything to do. So he left the cafeteria door unlocked, and we all snuck in there. We were maybe in there for like 5 minutes, maybe 10, and we see blue lights. So we all take off running out the back of the school, headed towards the vocational school. You get past the vocational school, there's the woods, like where cross country runs. 2 kids got hit by a cop car, like scooped up onto the Chance Moorhead and maybe Curtis Bradley. I don't know. But anyway, I ran into the woods, fell in a ditch, and like cracked a rib on a log. And then I found a ditch that was surrounded by shrubbery to lay in. And I counted to like 1,000 and then took a nap. And like I could hear footsteps around me, and I'm pretty sure it was cops because I mean, it might have been a figment of my imagination, but I swear I heard their walkie-talkies.
What time of year was this?
This was towards the end of the school year, so about this time of year, I guess.
Okay, so it was
Springtime.
warm outside then.
No, I tell you what happened. I got ratted out. The kid that got hit by the cop car, of course, they pinned him. But I got ratted
Of course, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And we had to miss the last day of school, but our punishment was like we got to clean up the grounds. Like we cleaned up all the foliage from the cross country trail. We cleaned up underneath the high school, the football stadium. We cleaned up a bunch of trash and stuff under the football. Like it wasn't bad.
I was,
Send a
I'm
shot of hard
surprised.
labor.
I was going to say that's probably ain't been cleaned in 10 years. About that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There haven't been any badass kids since then. It's just been covered up.
Yeah. But since we didn't do any property damage, they were a little, and we didn't have any plans for property damage. They were lenient towards us.
What was
Yeah.
your plan though?
Fucking around.
We had like 5,000 balloons. We were gonna take a ceiling tile out of the office, like from one side and from the other side, and we were gonna blow up balloons and just put like 5,000 balloons in the
Ceiling space.
Yeah. No, I mean, you take out a tile. Here's the wall. You take out this tile,
Right.
and you take out this tile, and you can throw the balloons into the office like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
We had
fill
a
the
bunch of
office up.
chalk. We had a bunch of chalk. We were going to do a chalk mural. You know,
How did y'all did y'all have somebody go in before in the office to like pull a tile out?
No, we were just going to pull the tile out from the outside of the office, and then
and then
then
ease
pull
it.
the
Yeah,
tile
okay,
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
side.
I
Yeah.
see what you're saying now. Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
because the actual wall didn't go all the way up to the ceiling.
Yeah,
You're right. I got you. Okay.
and
But
But
I thought
anyway.
you had an inside man for a minute. Some Mission Impossible shit.
Yeah.
He's
And
out there on the
then-
ceiling tile, just scurrying about in all black.
yeah. When I was walking the line at graduation, Jacob Walton had a couple old Playboys from like the 80s, and I cut out a picture and I had it in my hand when I went to take my diploma from Jim Flynn, the superintendent, and I
Yeah.
passed it off to him. So the picture on my mom's mantle is like me knowing that I'm fucking him up, and then him realizing that there's something in his hand. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
And it was full of bush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he ever say anything to you about it, like later on?
Oh, project graduation that night.
Oh gosh,
We saw each other from across the
because you're
cafeteria.
the same age as his son, right?
Yeah. So we saw each other from across the cafeteria, and we just looked at each other, winked, smiled, and that was it.
Yeah, you know he
He said,
enjoyed
"You-
that.
He said, "You son of a bitch."
You got me again. One
Yeah.
last hoorah.
Yeah, but he took it. He looked at it, he shoved it in his pocket just as quick as he could.
I bet he still got that.
Well, I just cleaned his house a couple months ago, so and he didn't say anything about it, so I don't know.
That's in his room of treasures.
Yeah, maybe he keeps it. Maybe he keps it in his journal.
Yeah, he folded
his
it
dream
up, put it in his
journal.
wallet.
Yeah, yep.
All right, so what's the other one?
That was it. That was what I had.
Oh, I thought
I
you
got
said you
Those
had
were two
two.
separate instances. One was the senior prank, and then the
Oh,
other one
okay. I thought it was all the
walking
same
the-
time.
No.
Okay, I got you.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Yeah.
Did
the
you
other
have
one-
anything, Wes?
Yeah, I mean, there's the pretty benign one, and we even had like teachers in on it where we had like water balloons. I mean, there was so many water. I don't even know the number of water balloons we had, but if back in the day, like Allen, the high schools changed since, but back in my day, you used to come in through the front doors and people would congregate get down there. I think we had vending machines and whatnot. And usually the people that would congregate there in the morning would be freshmen because they came in on the buses. So they didn't have licenses or anything like that. And we kind of tried to pass it along as best we could to some of the seniors that didn't have cars or whatever so they could get out of the get out of the way. But one morning, like even we had a couple teachers that were in on it with us that like kind of herded them like right under this over like we were on the second story and we could see down. So we could
They were
see
the freshmen.
yeah.
Oh,
And we just started launching.
oh.
Launching. Somebody, I don't remember who it
Shooting fish in
was.
a barrel.
It might have been Garrett Stone. He just had a trash can full of water, and him and somebody else
God.
just tipped over the edge.
They let y'all onto the what roof were y'all on of the main building or what?
So when you walk in the front of Allen County High School back then, at least, it was you walk in. There was a kind of a empty area, but we there's a second story. So we were on that second story and we could see over and down on all these people that were below us. I mean, I was just up there sniping people. I'd grab a water balloon, pick somebody out, and
I'm imagining a flat roof with maybe like 3 or 4 foot high brick wall around
Yeah, yeah, like a
around
knee
the outside.
wall.
no, we're way up there. It's a whole second story. Like you,
Yeah,
and the first floor has
but you're on the
very high
roof.
ceilings. What?
You're on the roof or you're inside the building.
Inside the building.
Oh, like a mezzanine,
I guess
like
you.
a over the top, but like a balcony kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
y'all are
say
just
that.
overlooking like an open area.
I want to see if I can find a
Is this
picture
a
of it.
tile floor or a concrete floor?
Probably
Carpet, shag
concrete.
carpet,
It might have been tile. Hell, I don't know.
tarp,
All
tarp
these
floor,
pictures of the high school are
a
now
big
that they've
sponge,
like
Oh,
updated it and whatnot. And like,
just a big squeegee.
yeah.
well, you bring your yearbook next week, Wes. But yeah, I'm just trying to. What happened with all the water? Did they make y'all squeegee all the water out of the building?
Uh, I think we made the freshmen do it.
Damn,
Savages.
y'all are already wet. Why don't y'all just use your shirts? Squeegee this stuff out of here.
I think the people with the water balloons weren't huge, but the people with the garbage cans full of water, they got into a little bit of trouble because that was a lot of water they threw down.
About 50
I mean, like,
gallons.
yeah, 30 gallons probably. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit. And that's a lot, dude. Have y'all ever like spilled like a gallon of milk on the kitchen floor, like a whole gallon?
Oh,
A
yeah,
gallon of liquid is a shit ton of liquid on the floor.
you never get it cleaned up.
No, dude. I remember one time I watched my aunt. She was baking a cake, and she was already like, it was like my uncle's birthday or something, and she was already like kind of perturbed, like in like this like manic state, and she was trying to hurry up and do a bunch of shit, and he wasn't helping do nothing. He was sitting down talking to people. Well, she dropped like a whole like gallon of cooking vegetable oil in the kitchen floor, dude, and I swear that shit was slick for 3 months.
That's what I was about to say. I bet it's still slick to this day.
Dude, you can't get all of it up.
You gotta get some oil dry on that.
Dude, she just started crying. She was like defeated. She just like started crying.
Yeah.
She was like, "There's not enough paper towels in this world to clean this up right now."
Defeated is a good word. Pearl still has 2 or 3 accidents in the house a week, and sometimes it's like, good God,
Yeah,
beach towel won't soak this up.
man, it's like you can't ever get it cleaned up. It's like
Yeah.
one thing after the other. And then like it's like the most inopportune time that shit happens. Like you ever notice that? Like you'll be like in the middle of doing something or have your hands full or you're like, damn. Or like step in it with socks on and you have wet, piss soaked
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah, or the macaroni cheese that like needs to come off the stove.
Right.
It's
Like it's boiling over. You're getting
Yeah.
like cheese is getting permanently stuck to that pot.
yeah, yeah.
You're just throwing that shit away. Have y'all ever thrown pots away to keep from cleaning them?
Hold on.
I have. I have definitely threw
Yeah,
away whole
probably in my
dishes.
college age years. Like,
I've
Well, I
done it
don't
within the
know.
last year.
oh, there you go, Wes.
Well, this is
Okay,
apparently
yeah.
in Allen County. No, it did not look like this when I was there. But just imagine this: you've got this whole second story up here, and you could see below. And we were just,
For the people listening, it's just a balcony overlooking a lobby of
With
like
a bunch of
school.
spirit sticks hanging from the
Yeah.
ceiling.
yeah.
Did you have that? Did you have that art installation when you were younger?
No, it was all gray. It was kind of like you were in a prison.
Yeah.
Like an actual
then-
school's supposed to look. You're there to learn.
Yeah.
And then the only other
Take naps.
one that we did was similar to Nick's. We snuck in late at night one time, and it was a bunch of us, and it was all to like mess with our teachers. So we had like a group of ag dudes. They immediately went to the ag room and did whatever they did. I don't know. None of us knew what each other were doing, and like I'd go mess with the science teachers and stuff like that. Like we like move stuff around.
Yeah.
I think we did like the chalk outlines or something. Like somebody put a chalk outline of a body on the ground,
That's pretty sick.
Funny.
they tried to find out for a while who did that because we were, in the time of like school shootings starting to be a thing. So
Start becoming the end thing.
yeah,
Excuse me.
but yeah, man, they had to have known that we were in there just fooling around or whatever. I'm sure they did.
We had a girl. We had a girl in 7th grade move to Franklin from Columbine High School, and then like a few months later or the next year, the Columbine school shooting happened.
He was like, boy, you really dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, yeah.
Could have been the 14th tier.
Yeah.
Could have been.
She could have been the one. She gave up a little pussy. Maybe them boys wouldn't have shot the school up.
What were them guys called? The trench coat mafia?
What'd you say?
Trench coat. What they call the
Yeah.
trench coat mafia?
Yeah, I think that's what they called themselves.
Yay.
What about you, Joshy? What's your high school story?
Man, I could never imagine ever breaking and entering into my school, much less anything else. But the craziest thing like my class did. Now there was people that did do shit like that, but it wasn't me. So like we did like I remember like my class and the class below us were pretty big rivalry between our two classes. Like we were close enough like to have good enough friends, but also like it was very competitive. So all I remember is like we all met at McDonald's in town that morning. It was on a Friday morning. It was homecoming. And we like drove through town, like everybody like lined up bumper to bumper, and like went to the school. And when we got to the damn school, that class of '08, they like were already waiting in the lobby to like ruin our shit. So like a fight broke out and it got broke up really fast, and that's all that happened. It was like over with and done like first thing in the morning. And the rest of the day sucked because everybody was like mad, like in trouble and
Yeah.
but that's all that really happened for us. Nothing.
I tell you what, Josh has a good story for the Patreon. He might need to share one day.
Which one is this?
About some televisions.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that'll definitely be a Patreon. Y'all stay tuned. We need to do another Patreon, sing the three of us.
Yeah,
so that
we
might
do.
be on that. Yeah, we'll definitely be looking.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should do an episode on the worst stories we have.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to tell that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I definitely can dig some up, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
They're
for sure.
probably old stories I've tried to forget, and now I'm gonna have to try to remember them.
Yeah, y'all do some
Bring up
homework on
trauma
that.
again.
Yeah, be looking forward. We'll definitely get some new content coming out. But yeah, that's all I've got. We didn't do nothing crazy. I remember like one of the guys like to start the fight, he come out and like met like some of us, like some of my buddies, because I wouldn't fight nobody. I've never fought people. Like so they were mouthing and like somebody got thrown against the wall. And next thing I know, like 4 or 5 like of the assistant principals come running out of the office because it was right there and they like broke all that shit up. And we had like one school resource officer, but he was like super chill. So, nothing really crazy.
It wasn't Officer Ass Man, was it?
No, it wasn't him. This was after his time. He was done doing I think he was off the force at this
Yeah, Wes, check us out. Our DARE officer when we were in elementary school was Officer Steve Assman.
That's how it was spelled. To like a
Yeah.
bunch of 12-year-old boys. Could you imagine having to go to
Yeah.
like an elementary school with sixth grade boys and being like, I'm Officer Ass Man. Like or I'm Officer Osman. That's what
Yeah, he
Yeah.
pronounced it Osmond, about like Dirte.
be like, let's
Yeah,
not
you
church
gotta.
it up, son.
I
Don't you
don't
mean
know that
ass man?
you can't be around kids and have that name.
No.
That's why Daddy named you Ass Man and not Nuttamaker.
He had a chip on his shoulder, and I'm pretty sure that's why, for sure. Because he probably
Yeah,
got bullied by kids. He got put on the shit detail by somebody at the damn force that didn't like him or something. And
yeah.
it was doing there, and he was like, fuck, dude.
Well,
So that time,
he probably had a terrible personality because he's been bullied his whole life. You
that's right,
know.
well, because that's what I'm saying. So
I
then he
wish I
got
could
put in the
remember
police force.
our resource officer in high school. He was always cool. I feel like Hal Parrish was around a lot, but that wasn't a
I think
resource
every school
officer
has to
though.
have one now. I think every school has one. Like we just had one for like the whole, like all the schools.
Uh,
And
we
that was a
we
pretty
had
new thing,
we had
even
one.
then.
We had one just for high school. Like he had an office and everything.
Yeah, I think we just had one. He kind of like would report to any of them, but he stayed at the high school area, because our high school and middle school are all like on the same piece of land, like on the same grounds. So
Yeah,
he would stay there.
that's the same way as Allen County is. I mean,
They're
it's
all within a quarter
basically
mile of each other. All the schools are
yeah.
pretty much.
Back
We
whenever
had
I
a
was
we had a
in
kid. Probably like 4 or 5 years ago, there was a kid that he turned in. His best friend was making a bomb at home, and he turned him in.
Well,
But I mean, it
that's a
was
bomb.
it was completed.
oh,
Like it
he
was,
had it.
yeah, it wasn't much of one, but it was still a bomb, and he was taking it to school. This is like 4 times.
Jeez, that dude saved some lives, like
Yeah,
for real. Like all jokes aside,
yeah,
comedy
Did
podcast, but that's a good time to tell them somebody's when they're gonna do some shit like that.
yeah.
did y'all have? This is a big school episode, I guess. But so my next question is, did
Taking
y'all
it back
have
to our
like
younger days.
a whole lot of like bomb threats or anything like that?
We did have a cut. I remember we had one, I think, and we didn't have a bomb threat. We had somebody took a pencil in the special ed class and broke a pencil off in one of the sprinkler heads when I was a freshman in high school, and it
Oh, shit.
flooded the whole first floor, and we had to
Yeah,
leave the school and
yeah.
go to a different like building, which was a gymnasium, and had to sit there like the whole rest of the day while they tried to figure out what happened. And what had happened was is somebody maliciously went into the school or into the classroom with the special ed students and broke it off and tried to blame it on the special ed kids, like being mean, like out of meanness, like just trying to do something, and like, hey, but yeah, he got in trouble. We never seen that guy again.
Yeah, it's like
But
a
yeah,
hundred. It was like over 150 grand in damages.
it
Oh yeah.
flooded. Like there was a four
The
foot of
computer
water.
room,
Yeah,
the computer tech room. Yeah, all the computers were
all that down there at
fried.
the
Yeah,
front office. Yeah, it was a mess, and we had. I think it happened on Friday, so it just so happened. If it had happened through the week, we'd have had to miss school because like it was just a mess, man.
We
It was a mess. Bunch of heathens, dude.
I think this shows how off kilter Allen County is compared to Franklin, because we had a few bomb threats.
Yeah,
Like,
we never had nothing crazy like that. I
yeah, we
never
had
felt
a
scared or
few. I don't think
nothing
we
while I
ever.
was in school.
I don't think we ever had like a school shooting like threat or whatever, but we would have to
Yeah,
like leave and go into the parking lot. I remember multiple times having to leave and go into the parking lot and like wait out a bomb threat, and like several black cars would pull up. They would all like sweep the building and all this shit. But the one time that we're pretty sure that it was like a legit threat was if you're familiar with the Cornbread Mafia, they had somebody on trial
yeah.
in Allen County for setting a car on fire with somebody in it. And
Damn.
it got ended up getting traced back to them, and they said that there were multiple bombs in our school, and we went home for like a couple days. Like we were out for a few days. And if you
Damn.
and people had picked people had saw on the square there were like snipers up there because the square was right next to the courthouse. So
Yeah,
I'm guessing that was probably why they were up there.
yeah.
But yeah, it was that was like a legit threat. I mean, we were kids, had a wild imagination, and we'd be like, "Would you just see one of those guys in black coats like bring something out of
Right,
the building over there?" Like, I'll never know if something actually got brought out of the
right.
building or not,
That
but
in your memory always usually makes it a little more skewed than what it really is. That more and more times you think about it or tell it, the older you get,
yeah,
it's a little different than the way it really was, especially if you were a kid. Because
yeah.
I like look back and I remember when like the biggest thing that probably happened at school regularly for us, I don't know about for Nick, but for my grade was like drugs. They would bring in like drug sniffing dogs, like sniff like lockers and shit.
I
Oh
never
man,
remember the drug sniffing dogs. We started getting drug tested for our parking spots. If we wanted
Oh yeah,
to go or play on any teams,
right.
we had to. So I think that kind of did out with the. I don't
Drugs.
ever remember getting a dog.
I remember one day, one of the guys in my class, Cameron's his name. You know who he is,
Yeah,
dude. Well, he was looking. He called me by my last name, Harrington. Well, he was always high, dude. From like the time we were in seventh grade, he was this clean cut dude, and like he still does good now. He like has a kid, like he works and shit, but he was like always like come from a good family, clean cut dude, spiked up hair, looks like a fucking Backstreet Boy. And he smoked weed one time, and his whole life changed. Like he was really one of them dudes. It was like a gateway drug because he
revolved his
started.
personality
Yeah,
around.
dude. I got a few stories on this guy. So back to the drug sniffing dogs. We were in class one day, and they were talking about doing that because there was like people selling drugs. So he was one of them. He looked over at me. He goes, Harrington, man, I don't have nothing in my locker, dude, but maybe some seeds. They can't do shit about seeds. And I was like, well, they know if you have marijuana seeds that you're dealing in marijuana. I said, I don't have any fucking marijuana seeds on me because I don't deal drugs. You know, like, that's not just something you're going to have. And they're like, oh, well, he just happens to have marijuana seeds on us. They're going to
Yeah,
still put it together that
life
you,
life doesn't start at conception. Okay,
yeah, I mean,
this is not a plant. This is like sperm and shit.
right, yeah. So
Egg.
he would always like justify shit. And then fast forward, like he had this Mustang Cobra in high school. Nice. It was royal blue, like a 95, 96 model. The only one that like you could spot it out easy, like 1 in 10,000. You know what I mean? Like around here. So
yeah,
like there wasn't no hiding it or nothing. So he gets messed up on like pills and shit one night, drugs, whatever, drinking and shit. Well, he has to pass like a bunch of like fence posts on his way home. So he drives home, hits every one of these all these fence posts on the way home. Like there's like fence wire wrapped around this car. All the tires but one are flat. His car is fucked up. He don't remember nothing. Gets home, calls me the next day. He's like,
Harrington.
Harrington, man, I don't know what happened last night. I said, well, I went home early, but you know, y'all were still doing whatever. Dude, somebody stole my car and ran over all these poles. I said, wait a minute, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, man, somebody stole my fucking car and wrecked it and brought it back to my house. And I said, think about what you just said. I said, so they stole your car, went joyriding, wrecked it, totaled this fucking car.
Brought it
And I
back.
still haven't seen the car yet, right? Like I still haven't seen it. So I'm thinking it's just like a mailbox or something, right? Like no big deal. So I'm like, I'll be out there after a while. I'll come out there and check it out, whatever. We'll go from there. I was like, you got fucked up, you drove your car home, but whatever. I said, don't go nowhere, whatever. Did I get out there, dude? And I just start cracking up as soon as I pull the driveway, dude. This car is fucking destroyed. I'm talking like bent wheels and shit. Like, I don't know how he got it home. Like, you
Like
can see in the driveway, the gravel, where he had drug like something, like it was just a divot down the whole driveway. And he parked it like where he would normally park his fucking
There's
car
probably
on
a
the
post underneath the
inside.
car. Yeah, there's probably a
Dude, there was
post under the.
oil and fluid shits all over the ground. Like it was a mess, dude.
it's like
There
Leo
was
and
barbed wire wrapped around the damn passenger side fucking mirror. Just
Wolf of Wall Street and that Aventador or whatever he was
yeah,
driving,
yeah,
or
it
the
was like that, but
Huracan.
yeah, just started. He's like, man, somebody stole my fucking car. Somebody stole your fucking car, dude.
I think he was trying to convince himself more than he was
Yeah,
you.
Yeah,
dude.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
God.
I mean, for real, I mean, the way insurance works, it'd still be covered.
Could
Yeah.
you imagine though, like being like I've done like I've drank a lot. Like I've never done hard drugs and shit, but I've drank a lot. I've still never woke up the next day and like shit like dude, what the fuck? How did I do that? Like, could you imagine like what he really did think
Yeah.
to like, like dude,
I
what
don't
the
I,
fuck?
I don't think I've ever like not remembered or anything. Like that
That's
doesn't
nuts, dude.
drug
It's
sniffing
insane.
dogs. Let me go back to that real quick because
Yeah.
I had a vice principal, little bitty lady. I can't remember what her name was because I would definitely call her out because she was a B word.
A
But I
bitch.
think it all started from one day I wore
A
a shirt to
badass.
school that said crack is whack, which
Yeah, it is.
seems like a positive message.
Yeah, I would love for you to
Any way you
wear.
can spin it, you know?
Yeah,
And
if
she
I was an
caught me
administrator, I would give you an award.
as soon as I came into school, she said,
Super
You're gonna have
citizen.
to turn that inside out if you want to stay to school today." I was like, "Well, honestly, I don't want to be at school today, but my parents probably want me to be in school today." So,
Barry whoop that ass, boy.
Yeah.
so I went, but I stood there with her. I was like, "Do you understand this message? Do you like what, like crack is not good, is what I'm saying. Cocaine, crack, whatever you want to call it, is not a good thing.
Butt
I don't
cracks,
care."
and if you want to go that way, butt cracks
Yeah.
aren't good. You can say
Yeah,
butt
No,
cracks are
we
bad.
don't like
leave
seeing
it
butt
home.
cracks.
Yeah,
Leave
we
it
don't want
home.
to see no butt cracks. Leave it at home.
Anyway, I mean,
Leave your butt crack at home.
Leave it home.
in high school, I had obviously super long hair and whatnot, and felt like she was always on my ass about something.
Rightfully so, probably.
I was a good kid in high school. I mean, I really was. I mean, I drank a little bit, but
You just look like shit.
no, I
That's what
just looked
it's
like a
like.
punk. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
I did. I looked like a punk, but
That's what Nick meant.
Yeah.
yeah,
Look at this little
one
shit. Look at this
her
shit.
her husband was a state trooper, I think, and she had him have some of his buddies come and do a drug sniff situation. And that kind of like goes, it's supposed to be county cops to do the
Yeah, I
situation.
see. There's
Like
probably some kind of jurisdiction
yeah,
things
there's
there.
a, like they did like some mental gymnastics
Checks
to,
and balances on that shit.
yeah, to call me out of my room where I think I was in science class at the time. I was in Coach Roberts' class, and they were like, the drug dog had a hit on your car." And I was like, "I mean, I'll unlock it. At the I didn't have anything in there. I knew I didn't. But I in the back of my mind, I was like, Michael, if you left some weed in my car, I'm gonna beat that."
Mm.
Man, that's always the
Because
biggest fear I had back in the
I didn't
day.
like all through high school. Maybe I smoked twice, but I've in my
Hey,
life I've never
I tell
many
you who would
times.
never leave any drugs in your car, Wes, and that's Mac McKenzie.
Yeah,
Would
that's
never fuck
true.
you over like that.
That's true. But I mean, I mean, they searched it for 45 minutes trying to find something, and I was like, I think your dog hit. It doesn't know what he's doing. Like I was like whipping at him the whole
Yeah.
45 minutes. Like I was
Yeah.
like, there ain't nothing in there. Yep, keep looking if you want. They pulled my cologne out, and they were like, "Why are you running around with cologne?" I was like, "Well, I don't know. Like
You
I'm
said
sometimes."
to get
17
some of
years
that
old.
strange dog.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"What's the? Is there a crime to have cologne to want to smell good? If sometimes like I sweat and maybe I don't smell good."
You think the condoms are so I can hide crack in my butt? Is everything here drug related?
But what was
Everything could
funny?
be anything related if you wanted it to be that way, right?
So
Yeah.
the reason I knew that they were picking me out is because the Michael, my best friend that's been high since he was 13, parked right next to me, and the guy that I know dealt weed and about any kind of whatever you could get back then was like cat a corner from me. Like our cars could have touched almost. So I was like, if this dog is not hitting on Michael's car that smells like a dispensary, at the time I didn't know what that was, but
Yeah.
smells like
Right.
you've been hotboxing in it.
Like Willie
Some kind
Nelson's
of weed
braids.
store.
Yeah. And then I was like, I don't know what this. I knew the other guy that was big into dealing stuff at the time, but I didn't know him super well. So I was like, I mean, if this dog was just dumb. So I was just the whole 45 minutes, I was just back and forth with him about how dumb this dog was. Pretty much.
You're lucky they
This
didn't plant
dog is a
evidence on
retard.
you. Yeah, you're lucky they didn't plant evidence on you.
It's a drug planting sniffing dog.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they could have.
Took a little baggie in his collar. They could just flick it out.
No, I was mad. I mean, I was mad. I was also a kid too. And I knew that I didn't have anything on me, so I was like, this is the dumbest thing.
It was giving you a little shakedown,
Yeah.
see if you'd
For
roll on
some
the
reason, like
supplier.
I don't know why she had such a hard on for me. It made no sense.
Infiltrate the dealer, find the supplier.
She
They
struck
thought you
out
was
with me.
they thought you was on the bottom rung of a bigger outfit.
21 Jump Street, and she sends in a couple cops to become your best friend.
Well, the way
He was
they,
more like the movie
the way they went
Arkansas.
about this, I think they thought they were getting the top dog. Like, as much as they messed with me, like I had my locker sniffed on, and I was like, I haven't been to my locker in months.
What if
Yeah.
you just like sold like a car or something for like cash and you had like $3,200 like cash, just happened to have it like on you, like from just like selling like a Honda Accord you drove or something in high school, and you had a duffel bag in your locker and you forgot about it. And they're like, yeah, man, we're gonna search your locker. And they're like, we don't find any drugs. What are you doing with this duffel bag full of cash? And they're like, we got him. And they throw you away and lock away the key.
Red team go, red team go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And then they maliciously arrest you. You end up in county. You end up having to
You
suck some
know,
wieners, okay? And then
or get your wiener sucked.
yeah, forcefully getting your wiener sucked
Yeah,
in
because
prison.
you might be top dog in there.
Yeah. You
This
might
might
like
be
it.
Been.
this might be a happy ending to this story.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
No,
It's good.
just that's something that that is a situation I'll never forget. I remember that gal's face and everything. I remember her stupid husband's face. Yeah,
trauma.
Well, I'd love for you to remember her name. That way we can give them a proper shout out.
Good old hollering.
A good old fine by me shout out.
Well,
Oh,
did we ever get a chance to make a bracket, Wesley? I know that we're doing some it being March and all. Y'all did the little bracket last week with TCAT over television shows. A pretty wild and obtuse selection, I will say, fellas.
yeah. I can't believe another internet show has voted Seinfeld the number one show ever again. It started happening before my eyes, and I was like, I can't fucking believe this.
I said I see where this is going. As soon as it
Yeah,
was put up there, it said Seinfeld. I said, well, here we go.
here we
I'm
go.
not there, and here we go. Because I'd have been like, nope, nope, nope.
I know Tutley and Tutley's wife were not happy that Tires made it as far as
Well,
it
I
did, and
was
I think that's a
that's fair.
probably maybe it shouldn't have made it as far as it did
Right.
just because it's
Out of
a
the selection you had, it
ceiling.
was on preference. It was preference like anything
But
else.
it's also all about who do they play early on in the bracket, because some of the
Yeah,
top contenders that could have competed against Seinfeld didn't make it past Tires. But like The Office, I would have picked The Office over Seinfeld.
right.
But
It's a different bracket.
right now, I like Tires better than The Office.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all couldn't. I mean, Eastbound and Down. You
Yeah, we
know,
didn't have that one on there.
Workaholics.
Yep, that wasn't on there.
Always Sunny in
I
Philadelphia.
think whenever I was trying to think of one for
Ozark.
that, I was thinking of old. And I think I
Right.
even mentioned it in that episode that we should do another one with more recent.
Yeah, and there's just so many, dude. How do you like? You started with 12 shows, so how do you really categorize 12? Like, you would have to do different, like
I
comedy,
think
drama. You
I think,
know?
I think Tutley did the top 10 from the 90s, and he did a top 10 from the 2000s, and then he
Yeah.
picked the top six
Oh, okay.
from both of those.
Yeah, I was wondering how it kind of
Yeah,
started. Yeah.
I think those were like the number one
I mean,
top
because could you
gross.
even do like? I mean, sitcoms are different than like anthology shows or
Yeah,
whatever. You know what I mean? Like Lost. Like you wouldn't put Lost in with a sitcom, really, would you?
no, or
Like,
Jobs. I love Dirty Jobs.
right? Yeah, Dirty Jobs. It's more that's more like a docu series or whatever.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
I
like,
wouldn't say
I
that
don't know what
either.
kind of parameters you would even be able to use because you could do like the Chappelle show or whatever. That's like a sketch show. So I mean, you couldn't do like that, or whatever. So it would just have to be whatever. I don't know. Anyway,
What's a school Like, what's the highest rank on the school? Like, you're the not the dean,
Valedictorian,
not the dean, none of them staff wise, not the dean,
president,
but no, like the dude
Hey,
that's over all the teachers.
principal.
Principal, that's it.
principal. Yeah.
Yeah, Lee.
I was thinking,
Wonder that vice principal didn't like you.
rocket scientist,
Yeah.
brain surgeon,
The king.
coach, head coach. You talking about
I've
the
been
head
trying to find this, and I've been typing in.
chief. We just call him chief.
I've been typing in high school vice president.
I think you have a college. College would have president.
Oh boy.
They do,
Okay.
yeah, colleges, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
All right, so this bracket for the people listening, if you can see it's cereals. We compiled a
cereal.
list of 16
Hey, can
popular,
I have some cereal?
16 popular cereals. I don't know if does Wes, do you want to do the announcing or do you want me to? And then we
I
can
can.
decide.
I can. Let's start somewhere random. Let's go with Apple Jacks versus Cookie Crisp.
Apple Jacks versus Cookie Crisp, 13 seed Apple Jacks against number 4 seed Cookie Crisp. I'm going to go with Cookie Crisp for me. So I'm going to write that down. That's a Cookie Crisp for Josh. Okay.
Nick.
I am also a large fan of the Cookie Crisp. Maybe 2 or 3 grocery store trips ago, I have personally purchased Cookie Crisp
Now I got a box here.
out of free will. Yeah.
Okay. What about you,
Okay.
Wes?
Yeah, I mean, I would. I've had Cookie Crisp many more times than I've had Apple Jacks.
Okay.
Amen to that, bro.
We'll do another rando here. Tricks versus Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops again for me.
I think these first
Mine-
ones are going to be rapid fire a little bit, so it's fine.
Yeah.
My nickname on the basketball court used to be Fruity Loops, so I will be supporting the Fruit Loops cause.
Fun fact, those two playing against each other. Fun fact, I looked some facts up about cereal before we did this. Fruit Loops and Trix are the same flavors, just different colors.
Wow.
Same exact flavor, same factory, just different colors.
Huh.
Yep.
Tricks are for kids, though.
They are. Fruit Loops
Yeah,
are for
I'm a
whoever wants
grown
them.
ass man,
So we got to stick to the Fruit Loops.
and I do not break any rules. I'm
All right,
a
next
rule-
first round.
I think this one's going to be a little bit contentious. Frosted Flakes or Cocoa Pebbles?
Frosted Flakes for me. Not a big fan of chocolate cereal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Josh on this one, Wes.
All right. I'm surprised. Special K is the same thing as Frosted Flakes, and
Yeah.
Special K with red berries is.
That's your go-to right now. That's what
Yeah,
you're crushing
that's
on.
what I buy right now.
Are Cocoa Pebbles just a chocolate fruity pebble?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Yeah. That's too
Same
much.
thing. Same consistency. Rice, Cocoa Krispies, kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Now I know red dye number 5 isn't the healthiest thing in the world, but it feels a lot healthier than
I love it.
first thing in the morning.
Checks, there's a bunch of different kinds of checks, so you can kind of put them under an umbrella if you want, but Checks versus Fruity Pebbles.
Chex is my favorite cereal. This is the one I picked. Nobody else would have ever picked Chex. I'm the old man here. I'm going with Chex. I know y'all probably won't. So
Go
I
ahead,
didn't
Wes.
see it making it past the first round.
You know what? So the way Pebbles works, it always just turned into mush for me.
I love mush.
I'm gonna have to go against you and go with Checks on this one.
Ooh, Chex takes it.
Oh yeah, I actually was also gonna choose Chex there. And Life cereal, is Life pretty much the same thing?
It's similar.
Yeah.
Different.
sorta.
Yeah, it's just different. It's wheat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys this season of my life, I've been steering away from the colored cereal.
Smart.
Yes,
That's why that mustache is coming in so good.
it is. It's great for my coat.
You've been laying off the poison.
Yeah, it's good for my coat.
All right. So who we got next?
Let's see. Captain Crunch Berries versus Lucky Charms.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go Captain Crunch Berries for me.
Hmm. I'm gonna go with the magically delicious Lucky Charms, supporting
OG.
my Irish brothers. I have no idea if any Irish people are involved at all with Lucky Charms, but I
They
feel
definitely
like
probably ain't mad about it.
So
no.
my like the healthy choice I'd make is Special K, but whenever I'm
Feeling dirty like a dirty
feeling,
boy.
feeling a little dirty, Captain Crunch Berries is my jam.
So
I
Captain
don't
Crunch
care
Berries
how
takes
much it
that one.
messes up the top of your mouth.
It is good. It's good. I don't eat it often. That's Chloe's favorite cereal.
You got to let that one absorb some milk before you
Yeah, it
dive
gets
off in.
soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These two, honeycombs and Reese's PB Puffs. Reese's
I'm gonna
peanut
have
butter
to
puffs.
kind of go back on what I said about chocolate cereal earlier. This is one chocolate cereal I do love. I'm a huge peanut butter fan. I love Reese's peanut butter puffs. That's taking it for me.
I'll go the other direction. I've never I thought the PB Puffs were too much for the morning. I understand you can eat it anytime, but
Right.
whenever they got big, whenever these came out, I was a kid, and I think my grandma bought me a box of it, and I was just like, this ain't it. Like, and so I'm gonna go honeycombs.
Honeycombs, OG post.
And I risk ruining a friendship here, but I really don't care. But I'm also going with honeycombs.
Well,
I knew
okay.
where that was going when he said he really didn't care. Honeycombs are good. Honeycombs are good. All right, so honeycombs takes that one.
All right. I think
I see a landslide victory there at the top. Cinnamon Toast Crunch versus Raisin Bran.
Yeah.
I'm talking that would have been the upset of the century.
Cinnamon
Yeah.
Toast Crunch versus Raisin Bran. Are we all in agreement?
Yeah,
Now
I think CT Crunch.
those are the two most purchased cereals in my household. I cannot believe Raisin Bran is a 16 seed in our household. Those are 1 and 2s, baby.
Okay, 1-2
Yeah.
punch.
Okay. Count Chocula, Captain Crunch.
I'm Captain Crunch, OG, simple. Count Chocolate's too much chocolate.
Crunchitize me, Captain. I thought the count was annoying. I thought he was pushing his
I thought,
number,
who's he trying to be?
his
You know what I
number
mean?
propaganda. He was trying to push numbers and math on me.
Yeah, I don't
That's
like
gay.
that. I hate math. I like the alphabet. It's way better.
Yeah, I'll do some alphabet soup and I'll spell boobs and pussy with my
Yeah.
yeah. You can't spell anything cool with numbers.
Wonder how come
Alright.
tits is more frowned upon than boobs. You
This
know,
is going to be interesting, I think. Captain Crunch Berries versus Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops for me.
Captain Crunch Berries, like I said, that's my
Oh, we got us a
dirty-
tiebreaker, Nick. What you gonna
dirty
do?
little
Which way
secret.
you swinging?
Oh, Barry and Wes, I'm so sorry, but we're picking Fruit Loops.
That's
Toucan
right.
Sam.
Barry's a Captain Crunch Berry man, isn't he?
I don't know. He's never
He
really.
probably
I've
eats
never
grape
seen him
nuts.
eat a whole lot of cereal other than like
That OG
Frosted
eats grape
Flakes and
nuts.
Cheerios.
He just eats straight up oats and water.
He eats shredded wheat.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him eat cereal. It's just Frosted Flakes or something like that was probably what I've seen him eat the most, and that's been obviously I don't live at home anymore, so hell.
So we got our first ticket punch for the Final Four. Fruit
Did
Loops.
Barry's cardiologist tell him that he should eat Cheerios?
Cholesterols?
They at one point, yeah.
Yeah, I think it tells everybody that. That's
It's
like
been a while. I remember that. I remember him mentioning that like several years ago.
Yep.
Honeycombs Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp for me.
Nick.
Looky, looky, looky! Here comes Cookie Crisp for the win.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Nice.
can't. I was gonna say that was an easy dub.
Yeah,
this
that's
is-
pretty good.
I think this is also an easy dub. Captain Crunch versus Chex Mix.
I'm going checks.
Wes, go
Crunch.
ahead. Checks, checks. It's all in the checks.
All right, that's
Checks
wild.
on that one.
It doesn't even
Wow.
taste like anything.
Checks is Final Four. It's so versatile.
Yeah, it's beautiful and weedy.
I like
Cinnamon
corn
Toast
Chex is my
Crunch
favorite.
versus Frosted Flakes.
Oh,
Dang
Frosted
it.
Flakes for me.
Go
Nick,
ahead, Wes. Go ahead, Wes.
I'm Frosted Flakes on this for sure.
Oh, it takes it.
Oh, CTC, man.
CT Crunch is good. All right, so the
CTC.
final four is Frosted Flakes versus Cookie Crisp and Fruit Loops versus Chex. A very unlikely final four from the start
Yeah,
of 16 teams, folks.
I did not expect this Final Four to be honest.
Well,
Fruit
who are we going
Loops,
to take first?
Fruit Loops and Chex.
Fruit Loops.
What?
Fruit Loops just because it's something that's not bland all the time. If you got to eat a lot of it, I'd say Fruit Loops.
Nicky?
I think that Chex has done more for the world than Fruit Loops. I
You
love
think
Chex
so?
Mix. I love Chex Mix.
Muddy Buddies at Christmas holiday times.
Buddies at Christmas. I think
Oh, I mean, I think we're getting a little bit out of the kilter.
You got to eat
here.
it with milk. In
We're
a bowl.
talking cereal here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if we
Traditional.
were going to go outward, we would have Rice Krispie treats,
Right.
like the chocolate Rice Krispie treats. Like there would be
Yeah.
so many things that
Different.
you could do with that.
Yeah.
still going Chex.
Okay, so
All right, man, I mean it's kind of a tough one because I don't really care for either of them. I'm going Fruit Loops.
all right. So now we got Frosted Flakes versus Cookie Crisp. Frosted Flakes for me.
Nick,
Frosted Flakes.
it's an easy one for me. I'll say that's my go-to
All
cereal.
right, so our championship cereal match: Frosted Flakes versus Fruit Loops. Who wants to go first?
Frosted Flakes.
I'll go first then. Frosted Flakes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay, I was gonna say you lagged or something, or
It was
maybe I did.
hilarious. It was hilarious. The way it
Frosted
was.
Flakes.
Champions
Frosted
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes to the champ. There it is, folks. You see it.
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes takes
Wow.
the cakes.
I might go up here to the truck stop and see if I can get a small little to-go box of Frosted Flakes just to celebrate.
Dude, I'll
I'm
be
gonna have a
honest,
bowl later.
I can't believe Frosted Flakes made it past CTC. CTC is not one of my favorites, so it would have never won for me.
Dude, I think Frosted Flakes wins a lot of these people, dude. Just because Frosted Flakes, it's sneaky, dude. Everybody likes Frosted Flakes at the end of the day,
Yeah, that's true.
you know. And the Tiger. Also, do you know that the original cartoon of the Grinch and Tony the Tiger are the same voice?
Really?
Mean one, Mr. Grinch. Yeah,
They're
Tony the Tiger.
great.
Same one. I got a few more little Chex had a video game come out in 1996 that had a sequel and a trilogy. 3
Really?
games. Yes. Chex
Didn't I share
Quest.
this with y'all?
Oh. And there was a fourth Rice Krispie character, like Snap Crackle Pop. There was also a pal, but they took him away.
Is this? Hold on, I guess I'm gonna share my screen again. Wes is doing stuff again. This. So
That's it. Chex Quest.
So I do remember I had Chex Quest 1 and Chex Quest 2. They came as floppy disks on a box of cereal. And I remember that was the first time I'd ever had Chex, like just the cereal, because I was a huge nerd. And it was basically you're this Chex dude, and it's like a game of Doom.
But you're killing like germs. It looks like boogers. You're killing boogers.
I don't remember what
Oh,
You just-
snap.
You just run around killing boogers.
it says. It's a non-violent first-person shooter, but I've for sure killed.
It looks like you're
Booger
killing
things.
boogers.
It looks like those aliens are squirting all over that poor
I want
cereal.
you to look how they used to trick us with gameplay. Look at this graphic that would have been on the
Yeah.
game case.
Yeah.
And this is what you're playing. This bullshit right
Yeah.
here. That's what ruined us, dude. They've been lying to us since day one, trying to tell us
Yeah.
it's something else. It really wasn't,
No wonder we
Yeah.
don't trust the government.
or nothing.
It is. I didn't know that it was actually based on the Doom engine, but it was for sure just on the Doom engine.
Hmm.
So
How do
it's
these people get doomed to play on like microwaves and shit?
I don't know, like their TV refrigerator.
It's
Yeah,
such a small game. I mean, like
Yeah.
back in the day, it was like the holy crap, the Doom is like got the graphics or whatever.
you can
Yeah.
walk
And
wherever you want to.
so that's why people, I think, are just a nod to like something that was once great. You can play it in Adobe Acrobat Reader.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
Like
can.
it's
It doesn't take
crazy.
much.
But
Well,
I
I
I
had
think
guess
you
you
can
could
play
say,
Doom in Doom. I think there's an Inception verse with Doom.
there probably is.
I know I like playing it on Microsoft Game Pass. It's pretty fun. I've been playing Doom Eternity.
Hell yeah.
It's a fun one. It's a fun game.
Man, I got Doom for my Xbox 360, and the first 5 minutes, like you have to watch the intro video
Yeah.
when you start the game, and he's like waking up in bed with two naked twin women. He's
And
like,
then he goes down to hell.
yeah, it's like hell.
Yeah, he's pretty savage
This one
dude.
you're fighting like aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's like, fuck, that
Doom's a
was
fun game,
cool.
man. It's just chaos, dude. Like it's chill until it's not. Like it's one of those games like you can just be walking around for a little bit and then all of a sudden you have to shoot like 1,000 things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Chaos.
I was like Doom was pretty big. I remember the first time Dad or Barry to y'all or Pops let me play Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem's a good
Yeah,
one, yeah.
yeah.
And
Duke
I'm pretty
Nukem.
sure he was like, don't pay attention to like this up here. And it was like strippers or something.
Yeah, they're out there dancing the whole time and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
I'm not
The
here,
loading
yeah,
screen,
yeah,
knowing that's all you were looking at,
yeah.
just staring at it. The game's getting done started. Like, where's the loading screen? Where's the dancing girls?
Well, no,
Yeah.
I think the first level I don't remember what Duke Nukem we were playing. It was on PC in probably the mid to late 90s. And it was very pixelated. Like you couldn't see anything. You could just tell like there was like a female figure in a red dress, like kind of dancing around a pole.
I was
Um,
messing with my son. He's just about to be 14. And the other night, before he went to that Ducks Unlimited dinner, his grandpa got here to pick him up. And I was like, y'all boys gonna get wild tonight? And he's like, oh, I don't know. He goes, Kason, did you get any cash out today? I said, he got out a bunch of ones. He said, we're gonna go to the strip club tonight, dude. My little boy's face got red as hell. Because he's like really like he's like, no, we ain't doing all that. And he goes, I take him up there Tattletales. He said, I don't know if it's still open or not. He goes, we could probably slide him in through the front door. And we had him convinced he was gonna have to go. And he was like, man, I don't know. But he was like, no, we're just messing with you. He was like, oh man. He's just like I'm looking down. He was like, I don't want to do this. So
Dude, there was
fun.
a guy, we ended up being my assistant manager at the e-cig store, but whenever we worked at a Chuck's together, the liquor store, he had this super great shirt that his like uncle got him in the 90s, and it was an Uncle Sam's shirt. You
Mm.
remember Uncle Sam's
Yeah. The
in
club,
Bowling
wasn't
Green or
it?
whatever?
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal shirt. I would do anything to have that shirt.
I get on eBay, you might find one.
From Bowling Green,
You,
Kentucky.
you never know, dude.
Was Uncle Sam's a firework place?
No, it was
Like a
cabaret,
motorcycle club.
cabaret.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Like a, s- a
it's all. I mean,
congregation area.
almost a strip club, but I
Yeah.
think
Gentlemen's club.
everything in Bowling Green's almost a strip club because they wear like pasties and whatnot.
Yeah. Could be.
But yeah,
Very well could be.
Uncle Sam's was there for a long time. I remember. I think they cut out whenever I was in college.
Mm.
That's never been my thing. I've never been to Tattletales or anything like that.
Yeah, I've been a couple times. That wasn't my thing either. It's just a waste of money.
Yeah, I
They'll
remember
lie to you
somebody.
enough and break your heart enough and take money from you all through your life.
Yeah, I remember. Some of my friends took me to Nashville whenever I turned 18 or a couple weeks after. And then I went with my other buddy that wasn't old enough whenever I went. And I took him down to Nashville and like both of us like on the way home was like, this is not something I'm probably ever gonna do again. Like this was
Some dudes love it, man. Some dudes are all about it.
I don't
And I get
understand
it,
it.
but and that's
I
fine if
don't
that's your thing, but
I don't
whatever.
get it one bit.
Yeah. I was talking to a buddy a couple weeks ago, and he said Like in 2007, he had 13 houses he was building. And when the market crash happened, he sat on 13 houses for like a year and a half, couldn't sell them.
Damn.
Like it probably didn't help that I was spending like $2,000 to $3,000 at the strip club every weekend.
Yeah, probably not.
Jesus, dude.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Oh,
That's a dark road.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is, brother.
Dark road.
Yeah.
Guys, well, I know we're winding down now, but I want to
Think
tell
so.
y'all. I don't know if I've mentioned it on here, but I've been watching The Sopranos like crazy binging
Oh, I
it,
thought you were finally going to come out, dude.
and I'm
Yeah.
on the last season
Already?
and halfway through, probably halfway through the last season. I can already tell I'm not gonna like how this ends.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what happens if y'all know,
Right.
but
I know.
it doesn't
No.
seem like it's gonna wrap up in any sense. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing really, there's no crescendo happening.
You just got to enjoy the
Just a,
nuance. I'll
just
just
a
say
lot
that.
of chaos. Just a lot of chaos. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, it
No.
seems like things are calming down and whatnot, and they're chilling. Like Tony had got shot by his uncle while he was in some kind of demented rage or demented, like he didn't know what he was
June Bug.
doing. Yeah, old Uncle June.
He's my favorite
And
character.
a couple episodes ago, prior to now, he had just got out of got out of the hospital, and now he thinks everybody thinks he's weak because he's recovering, and he beat up some random guy in front of everybody.
He's an old ass man.
Yeah, I mean, and
He's
the
old.
dude that he beat up was his like security driver,
Yeah.
and because he was just like sitting there in a meeting, and I think he just chose something to be mad about, like.
Right.
Why would you it was a refrigerator door. Hey, don't slam the refrigerator door anymore. And then the guy was like, I didn't slam a refrigerator. He's like, are you calling me a liar? And he just
Right.
walks up,
Yeah.
he just walks up to him and just starts beating the hell out of him.
He
I'm
had to
like,
take his feelings out on
golly.
somebody, all of his emotions. He
And
didn't
then
know
he
how to
goes to the
deal with it.
bathroom and throws up like 3 times.
Yeah, he's used to always strong arming people, and now he's old and weak and sick and has to count on people, and he can't stand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a hard
Yeah,
time
because
with that.
everybody, as I
He's
say, everybody's
very
like, can I get you a
paranoid.
chair? Do you want to sit down? Can
He's
I?
like, no,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
And
He don't want to show
where I'm
weakness.
at in it, he just sold that chicken place out from under the chicken people,
Oh yeah,
the to Jamba Juice.
yeah. It's a good
Oh,
show. Any of y'all that haven't seen The Sopranos, great show.
yeah, I was gonna say
That wasn't even on the top 10 or whatever y'all did last week.
I
Y'all
went,
hang out with me. I'm still holding out.
dude, I held out for so long just because I thought I wasn't like a mafia style,
I probably watched it
it's
through
not the style that I
twice.
care for, but there's so much more.
Yeah, it's different than just a mafia
Yeah, I was
thing,
gonna
you
say
know.
the mafia side of this is almost like a second car. It's not the first car really, and
It's just more about this guy's life, you know.
yeah,
Everything else, his kids
dude's
raising his kids and trying
dude's
to balance all
anxious.
that shit.
Dude's got the most anxious everybody.
Yeah. Real life stuff, except for the mafia part, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to make decisions on if somebody's going to live or die, thankfully,
Yeah,
but
he's just a you've seen enough of it. I just think Tony portrays like a big kid because he
yeah.
throws fits if he doesn't get his way. He overindulges in everything that he likes. He hates being told no. He throws fits, you know, just like a big kid that's always got his way.
Yeah.
But yeah, James Gandolfini played him really good. That's what killed him is, you know, he would actually eat the food and stuff on set, like not just like spit it out. Like a lot of times actors and stuff will spit it out. He was actually eating all that shit. But you know how delicious pasta and cannolis and pastries and shit are.
Boy,
You know, I'd
don't
be
it.
eating it too. Man, it's so good.
Dude,
Yeah.
I went and ate. I've ate a couple times in the last month at one of my favorite spots and had the first time I had
Zoli's.
pork ragu from Barrel House.
Yeah,
It was red sauce, pork, and obviously
man,
some kind of
sounds
noodles.
good.
And then I went last Saturday and had like avioli aioli with some kind of chicken, and it
Ooh,
was I mean it was like 50% garlic and noodles and grilled
it sounds
chicken.
delicious and butter.
Yeah,
Yeah, delicious.
it was so good. I was like, man, I don't know. If I lived in Italy, this is all I would eat ever.
You just leave there feeling like extremely bloated.
I'm sure it's healthier over there, though.
Yeah, over
Well, I was
there,
gonna
yeah.
say I've
Yeah.
I've heard the people like podcasts and whatnot that have went over there and spent some time. They're like, I do not feel the same bloatedness from
It's all the olive oil,
an
man.
actual Italian restaurant in Italy that I do here.
All
Uh,
that olive oil is that Mediterranean diet. It's good for you.
well, we just got back like 2 hours ago from a big weekend of hiking, the first trip of the year. Our sleeping bag was not ready for 34 degrees last night. We were
Man, it's chilly.
Yeah, but we took the new puppy for the first time, and she did great.
Good.
Yeah.
Where'd
We
y'all
did
go?
this Big South Fork trail called Blue Heron Loop, and it was perfect. A short.
Dude,
We did like 5 miles yesterday, and then we did like a mile and a half, 2 miles today, and out back to the car. But we got busted in our underwear by like a grandfather and his 15, 16-year-old grandkids in our underwear swimming in the Cumberland River this morning. The first people we had seen in like 36 hours, of course, when we're in our underwear. But
I thought it was something hilarious when you talk about your dog. I saw that dog on that walking trail. You know
Yeah.
how it's like going blind or whatever
Yeah.
situation. Like I think it would be funny. Like you always see like a person that's like blind or going blind with a walking stick and a seeing eye dog. Like if that dog that's going blind was like helping me that's disabled, like on a leash, like it
Yeah.
had like a walking stick attached to its head and it's like trying to help me cross the road. And we're like both like trying to get across the road.
Yeah.
And it's looking at me and I'm looking at it like, well, what do we do?
He's pulling you a little too
Yeah.
hard, and
Yeah, I think that'd just be so funny.
he's like pulling you
He's like, I'm
into
doing the best I can. I'm fucking disabled
Yeah.
too.
he's pulling you into traffic, and you can't stop him.
Yeah, he's got like a walking stick on his head, like
Yeah.
beating around, like attached to its head. It's hilarious. Has like a helmet on with like a flashlight on it. It's all whatever. It's funny.
I got my fishing license. I tried fly fishing for trout for the first time ever. Didn't catch anything, but we've got some frozen tilapia in the freezer. I'm gonna go ahead and
There you go.
get my fix. I've been thinking
There you
about fish for the last 2 days.
Fish is good. I like fish myself.
Yeah.
Well, all right, boys. I think it's been another fantastic episode. You could probably call us quite the trio of serial killers.
Yo, wow. Yeah. And you know what? While we're talking about it, Josh, if you're listening, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe.
Comment. What's your favorite cereal? Did we have a good selection of cereals for you to look upon while we did this and listen upon, if you will? I
Yeah.
think Frosted Flakes is a good cereal.
I was gonna say I started kind of running out of ideas. I mean, I'm not a big cereal guy these days.
Yeah.
I get
And I mean,
some
sometimes
and then.
sometimes Gonzaga makes it to the Final Four, and you're like, how the fuck did this happen? But I mean,
How did St. Mary's make it to the Elite Eight? But here they are.
yeah, here they are.
Here they are. That's what they call it, a diaper dandy.
Yeah. This has been Nick Cook.
Josh
Let's
Harrington.
dub.
And this
Thanks for
is
listening.
Fine by Me.
See y'all. Bye.
Take
Peace
it
out.
easy. Love you.
Bye.
West Coast, Josh has one leg.